Good morning. It's first day of vacation. It's not my vacation, but kind of is in a way. I'm not working, but it's going to be a lot of work. Going to a class of continuing education, but there's so many thoughts when I wake up in the morning, just like blah, blah, blah. And I woke. Okay, where to begin? My husband is on vacation, and I love that so much. He is like a free spirited little gem. And so today we'll get to like spend the whole day together before my class starts tomorrow. Can you hear me? I have a heater on too. Oh, and this guy. And so we get the whole day together to just be free and weird and not worry about anything. So I love that. I just realized I woke up with a weird dream in the middle of a weird dream. I can't even describe it. Do you ever have that where you're like, the dream is so there, but to put it into words would be like, what is going on in that head? And I'm thinking about, I just did my morning pages. I had 3 pages of like, and what came out was a memory that really, like, where to begin? Okay, so much is happening lately. Okay, I video journaled about this moment in the gym yesterday where something came in about an old wound. I tucked it away, touched in a little bit, but tucked it away and said, we'll find the right time and place for this. Well, yesterday I picked up, I might share the voice journal. I created a voice journal later in the evening about all that came up since then at the gym, because it was quite a day of unfolding. Because weirdly enough, I had 2 clients yesterday. I blocked most of the day to prep for leaving today, and still had 2 clients, but both of them had to reschedule for different reasons, and that's totally fine. I usually think of it as an opportunity to get other stuff done. And I was like, oh, universe, thank you, because I was able to spend more time with myself in that. It's like I feel like this is a truth, like when we're about to touch into something deep and we're willing to go there, the universe paves the way, creates the conditions, the container for which that can happen. It brings you the people you need, the space you need, the time you need. I have felt it for myself over and over and over that I feel like, oh, is that a universal truth? Okay. I feel like it is. Because to clear, to heal, to self-actualize, whatever you want to call that long game, is what the universe is waiting on the sidelines going like, yeah, do it. That's what you're here for. So, hey, thank you, universe. You cleared my schedule, and stuff emerged throughout the course of the day, to the point where at night I started to pack. Like, I'd gathered all my stuff. I was starting to like put it in the suitcase, and something didn't feel right, and it said stop. Go. I think I said on the voicemail, like, go open your mouth, because that's lately how I'm processing stuff real time. So I did that. I set down everything. I came out here, opened my phone to do a video and to start talking, and that didn't feel right. It said, no, not video. voice memo. So I opened the voice memo and talked for like 40 minutes. This, I think, is what it turned out being, of just all the stuff. And it felt like, wow, like that needed to happen. And then after that, it felt like there was an opening. I lay in bed and like allowed myself to touch into that thing that in the morning I was like, nope, we'll just save that for later. And I touched just enough in that a repressed memory came up. I'd heard that was possible. I've had my own memories come back around over and over from like childhood trauma, where to the point where I'm familiar with them. They don't feel new. I might like sense other things at the periphery of that memory from time to time, but no real new parts of that memory have emerged until last night. And I was like, oh yeah, okay. It is, it's fascinating how this works. And that's what came up in my morning pages. It's like, I did it in a very, what we call an SE, very titrated way, because I know I'm dancing around. My system is, it's like I don't have like a plan here. It's just like our bodies, I trust the body's wisdom so much. I trust mine, I trust yours, I trust my clients, like, and I tell them that because I feel like that gives them permission to trust it too, because I really do. There's such a deep trust in our bodies. Have the wisdom of knowing how much is enough in any moment. However, there can be like a too much scenario, too much to be helpful in the moment. There's a bit of that can be like, if we don't understand titration and the way this works, I feel like sometimes we want to trauma dump. We just want to go all in, and that can have a closing back down effect. So, but it's still, essentially everything's going to be okay. We'll be fine. It's just, is it the most fruitful path? Is it the smoothest path? Maybe not. So that's what I mean about the wisdom. The body has the wisdom to help things be gentle and smooth and fruitful. And we can trust that. And so last night it seemed like my system was dancing around the periphery, trying to, like, you know how you like circle in, and even in a prior video I'd had this visual of like circling a drain as we get closer and closer to the thing, to the core of something. And so last night I'm laying there and it just felt like my system was like tiptoeing around that drain. I need to drink this before it gets colder. Although I do like a cold brew. I don't like a lukewarm brew. So this guy slept with me all night last night. He's usually not allowed to, but I snuck him in. So the repressed memory was interesting because the other thing I trust that I journaled about is like the way every element of our own healing journey is so synchronistically beautiful. The way it is such a vital ingredient to the path to healing, to self-actualization, to freedom. Like, I won't go into the details yet because, like I said in the maybe I said it in a video, like, I will share eventually. The timing is not here yet, because to me, when integration happens, it's after the fact. And I think I talked about this in the voice memo. Like, it doesn't feel authentic to reflect on something in real time when integration has not happened yet. Reflection to me is like, oh, I'm in the process of integrating, or I have integrated. Like, I have perspective on it where wisdom can emerge. If I'm in it, I've done it, so I know what this feels like. It feels like, oh, insight, share. And it feels like, and now, after having done that and after going through all this and blah, 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 no, I'm just a little baby bird. Look, I even feel like one. And I'm just like a little baby bird, and I want to honor that. Oh, I'm gonna cry. I want to honor the little baby bird who is just pecking out of the shell, and is so tender, so strong to be able to peck out of the shell. Like, she's got a strength and a wisdom to know, like, this is the way out. But we gotta protect the baby birds, and honor their process. The mom, I don't think the universe mom, is gonna like, oh my God, yeah, let's rip her out of that shell. Like, I don't want her to work too hard. I just want to protect her. Don't hurt your little baby beak. But no, the universe doesn't do that. The universe creates like the loving mother and the safety of the nest. I'm making a nest shape. And sits back and says, yeah, peck out. That's how you build strength. Or else you won't be able to fly once you peck out of that shell. Like, if I pull you out of that shell, you have no strength. You have insight, but no strength, no integration. I think I like that analogy. It just came out of nowhere. So I want to honor my baby bird and let her keep pecking her way out of this. Let insight emerge into wisdom through the process of integration, And then I can reflect and share if I feel called to at the time. Who knows? Maybe I won't even, because that's happened also. Like, oh no, I wouldn't have shared. Like, integration just feels like, oh, I'm just building my own inner coherence. No one needs to know about that. So maybe I will, maybe I won't. But what did happen in the touching in and that repressed memory that came up was the very ingredient, to the recipe of my own self-actualization journey. Recipe. And that's how it works, and that's why it feels so true to each and every one of us, all our own personal ingredients, our own personal recipe of this. It's so unique. No two recipes are alike. And we're the chef, I guess. Or really, we're like the chef. The universe is the sous chef. God, I love mixing analogies. And this memory that came up, at this point, it feels like I trust that this process is so gentle that even visual memories of things that happened to me at such a tender age, they don't hurt. They don't feel scary anymore. Like, I'm not worried or scared or anxious about touching into them. I had no idea a repressed memory was going to come up. But on the very emergence of that memory, what happened was the insight, the visceral, and this is why you are the way you are. there's like, you know what I mean? There's like the insight of this is the very antithesis. It's like, here's your kryptonite. Now you can understand your kryptonite and know, oh, it's not personal. It's not an identity. You know, it's the grace that comes on the very back of something such a big wound, like a big trauma. Oh, you know, like, have you felt that with your own explorations? Like, it doesn't, I'm hopeful you have, because in my limited experience and what I've heard others talk about too, so I know it's out there. I just don't know if it's truly universal. Feels like it could be. Like, those things are right, like the grace is right on the backside of the emergence of this what could be thought of as like the scariest parts, you know. But the grace comes in and says, don't be scared. Don't take it personally. These are the keys to your liberation. Recognize them as such. I didn't know I was going to get all emotional and cry. These tears feel like love, wisdom emerging, you know, in a truth. Feels like pretty amazing. And I'm no stranger to this process. This is the way mine has gone for a long time now. This just feels like such joy that I'm circling closer to the center of that drain, perhaps. But again, trying not to make meaning when I'm still inside the picture frame. Like, that was the analogy I think I heard somebody say once, is like, and I think I've shared this before, you really can't see the picture when you're still inside the frame. Can't be making meaning in the moment. You can, like I do it all the time anyway. It just may not be the ultimate truth that emerges. The integration, the stepping out of the frame and looking back with a different perspective hasn't happened yet. I'm still like immersed in the picture going, ooh, what's here? This guy's here. So, yeah, I think that's it for this little morning contemplation. It's like this fascination with our own unique recipe to liberation. And I think about this all the time, you know, like my archetype is integrator. I want to make a video on this sometime. Like, what's your archetype? And if this makes no sense, Google, what do people mean when they say, what's your archetype? It's okay. I've Googled all the things. So, like, integrator has been it's my archetype. I can't help it. It's been from some of my earliest memories, my earliest non-traumatic memories, have been of this archetype. And I follow the thread and like following that thread forward through my whole life. There's like, oh yeah, literally some of my job titles have had the word integration in it. What? It's so funny. Even some of my jobs that were the most fun and challenging were like in the post-dawn of the internet boom. Like, I was literally teaching myself how to be a programmer back when we called it programming instead of coding, because we weren't cool yet. We were so weird and We were subculture cool though. So my exact job was integrating back-end systems with front-end design. Because I had studied both. I was like, there's always been something baked into me that is so fascinating. Again, these are revelations that come as it's one of the ingredients in the recipe to liberation, right? It's like the keys to our freedom are the insights that come. And some of the insights for me have been like when I've been thinking about, oh, what's the common thread woven through my whole life? There are several. Integration is one of them. Like, I remember one of the guys I worked with on my right, so he's here, he's the hardcore back-end programmer, like making all the shit work in the back end with databases and all the things in the code. And then I sat over here with the front-end UI designer, like true artist, not just like I'm using Photoshop. Like he is an artiste, and then adopted the tools to bring that art to life. And they were all both artists in their own right. I literally sat in the middle. I had somebody on like the programmer on a Linux box, and Windows, all that stuff. On the other end, full on Mac, when Macs were like new and like just newer. And then I'm in the middle with both. I literally had two machines. I had a Mac and Linux and Windows and all that stuff like happening. And I'm like hooking up with in my own way, back-end code to front-end design to make it work, to say, okay, how is the UI going to present the information? How do I bring it all together? And I have to feel like some part of this, like this whole YouTube thing I've created and my Substack and the tarot that has come into my life and all these elements are part of integration. Like noodling on things I find fascinating, and like something in here integrates all of that, all those disparate things into like bleh, a new video. And or a tarot reading, or like I just think it's so fast, it's so fun. And so yeah, I feel like doing a video on like the threads woven through my life. I wish everyone would do one, because I would watch every single one of those. To me, that is fascinating to see how a whole person is formed through lived experience. Like, you know what I also love that's kind of related, I guess, is like looking at a baby and then like in the stroller or something, and then looking up at the parents, and then looking at the baby, and then looking up at the parents. And I'm always like, oh yeah, eyes, nose, smile, chin, like and then I wonder, why is that so eternally fascinating to me, to be like, look, this baby is the integration of like both things. And it's like how it all comes together to form some new third thing. Because we've seen this, right? Like if AI does a mashup of like two faces, it's weird. It is weird. But if two people have a baby, and the alchemy that happens to make that third thing, oh, it's its own thing. It's totally different. you can just see the echoes, right? Forward through the process, through time, into that third thing, and it doesn't look weird. I mean, some babies might look weird, but like, it doesn't look wrong like you do when you mash up two faces. You're like, oh, funny, but I gotta go. Yeah, we could talk about this forever, couldn't we? But this guy needs some cuddles. Bye.